I heard this video was crazy, so I want to react to it from Channel 5 with Andrew Callahan. Dunkin' Donuts workers strike. Okay. Well, what's such a big deal about this?
We are protesting the fact that they actually put a kiosk up in front of the Dunkin' Donuts to replace the cashiers that are there. You can see the writing on the wall.
They did that in my hometown in the McDonald's, and nobody used them. They just stood there and like nobody cared.
For a reduction in workforce, and I think that's the thing that we're looking out for. They've already installed QR codes on the table, and we are worried that the next step is a tablet. Next step could even be a robot one day, and we need to be able to have a say in the work.
No, you want to know what the next step is? It barely works. And you just keep having issues because these corporations don't pay attention to what happens at the bottom. They only care about the money at the top. So things are going to break, and bureaucracy is going to take over, and they're not going to be able to get things repaired in time for it to be efficient. And they're just going to go back to the original system because that's the way it's been going literally everywhere. Walmart, Dollar General, McDonald's.
Workplace, if we allow automation in, it's just going to take customer service, away. It's going to take service out of customer service, and that's not what people want.
They hate workers. They hate us so much that they want.
This only works at the beginning when they're new. When they start getting old and breaking down and things have to be replaced, that's when companies stop working. That's when it stops working, and you can't do it anymore.
Automate us away. They hate us more than they love their profits. I am an anarchist, so yeah, I do believe that hierarchies and places of power cause violence, and that's pretty much all they do.
You think that profit over people?
They have monopoly on violence, actually, or they're owned and operated by the people who have the monopoly on violence.
Is going to last forever, or do you think that late stage capitalism is just going to death spiral so hard that we have to ultimately kind of level the playing field and create a new society?
Late stage capitalism.
Well, some people have to get shot.
Developing news
Excuse
today
me?
out of New York City where the CEO...
No, they don't. No, they do not. If you come on my property, you have to be shot. That's the only thing. If you come on my property looking to start trouble, I mean.
of United Healthcare was shot and killed in broad daylight. It's believed he was targeted, but it's unclear why.
I hope it's not me.
Yeah.
Did you know that every Thanksgiving, 75.9 million Americans use airports like Phoenix Sky Harbor to travel to go see family elsewhere in the world? It's crazy, right? It's a big week. But guess what? There's a lot of beef right now at the airport. You know why?
Hundreds of restaurants and concession employees on strike, planning to continue their protest tomorrow.
And because of this, restaurants and concessions will be shut down. The workers with HMS Host, a vendor...
Get jobs somewhere else. I know it kind of sucks, but and we have less and less jobs, but figure something else out. I did. This is what I'm doing now. I mean, not everybody can do this, but you can go do things. You can go make a living, selling paintings. You actually can do stuff like that. The only thing is people just are adamant about living in cities for some reason. You can afford these things if you don't live in the cities, because everything is so much cheaper and nicer and more quiet and way less crime.
Operating many of the restaurants and coffee shops inside the terminals say it's time for their demands to be met.
The workers say they want what most American workers want. That's the ability to keep food on their table and a roof over their heads.
Employees want better pay, health care, and retirement plans, especially after the pandemic.
It's just become very clear that we've gotten to a point where the things that we are asking for are falling on dead ears with the company, with HMS.
But HMS Host paints a different picture, claiming it's offering 12% raises and better benefits, and in a statement says the strike, quote, serves to hurt the traveling public and the HMS Host associates who continue to work during this difficult time.
So, we're gonna go to a protest, specifically a Phoenix Sky Harbor food service anti-automation protest. We're gonna meet up with some Dunkin' Donuts employees that may or may not be being replaced by robots in the near future. And we wanna ask some of the employees about how they feel robots pose an existential threat to the American working class.
My name is Winona Rue.
if you're worried about your job being taken at Dunkin' Donuts and at McDonald's, like, you're, I don't know, your life has to be going pretty fucking sideways. Cause like, I'm making basically minimum wage, right? Making the same as a McDonald's worker or a Dunkin' Donuts worker. Doing something else. I got no complaints here. I'm not gonna be replaced by a robot. Unless the internet just completely gets taken over by AI.
When I work at the Dunkin' Donuts in Terminal 4, there's 2 kiosks, like, at the front. No one really uses them, but the way it works really sucks, and it's like less efficient than just going up and ordering.
They don't even put the work into the kiosks that they need to have them operate.
Yeah, see, nobody uses them, but they keep implementing them, and then keep making people have to use them, and it's just not good. It's just not good. Like, when I was running a self-checkout at Dollar General, it just kept breaking all the time. It was faster when it was working, I guess. Wasn't faster for the employees, I tell you that, when we had to shut those down at the end of the night. That took longer to shut down the self-checkout than it did to shut down the entire store.
Properly, if at all.
It's making our job harder because there's all kinds of stuff in the system that we don't have, or that we do have that's not available, and the prices are wrong, and it just makes our job so much harder than just actually going to the table and talking to people ourselves.
They'll send an order through on the kiosk, and it'll just silently pop up on our screen. So we won't even, unless we're actively looking at it, we're not gonna know about it. We're just sit around like wondering why there's people in the lobby, and we're like, oh, there's a order. Yeah, it's really not efficient.
They're down more often than they are usable. They are not connected to any of our computers at Dunkin' Donuts, so we have no idea what anybody orders. And then they'll come up to us all angry with a receipt.
I have a roofing company. You work at Dunkin' Donuts. Who the fuck is being angry? I made $350,000.
If you're getting angry at a minimum wage worker at a Dunkin' Donuts, you're the one whose life has gone sideways. Because it is 100% not their fault. I've been in these positions where I work in these jobs. I haven't worked fast food, but like I've worked retail, and it is very, very similar. They use a lot of the similar systems. And like when it goes down and people start screaming at me, and then I have to be nice about it, bro. It shouldn't be like that. I should, in an actual good system, I should be able to yell at them back.
Last year, I'm fucking ignorant.
It's frustrating on both ends. It's like, why is that even there?
I think they're just trying to squeeze every penny they can out of the entire experience, and to allow
True.
people to do it themselves just makes it quicker and easier for the company.
It doesn't matter if it's quicker and easier. It just has to be quick enough and easy enough to be, and cheap enough to replace you, so they don't have to pay an employee. If it's cheaper to just fix the machine, they're gonna do that instead of paying an employee. The only thing is they have to keep them up and have to keep replacing them, or it's just not gonna work. And it, in the long run, ends up just costing more. So I think it's a trend that is going to slowly die until the technology is actually there and it really does get implemented and everybody actually is out of the job and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Because when the technology is actually there's nothing you can say as a worker. You're going to be striking for no reason, because like if they don't need you and you're striking, they're just going to kick you out. They're going to just fire everybody and just completely replace everybody with robots, because robots aren't going to strike.
Do you feel like you enjoy your job?
No, I've worked customer service for 5 years. I don't enjoy this. I'm here for the paycheck. It would have been more profitable for them to like agree to this contract, because they're really suffering now that we're out like demonstrating like this during Thanksgiving.
This is the busiest travel time in the whole year, and we have to make a disruption in order for them to listen to us and for them to know that we're serious.
What kind of existential threat do you think automation poses to the workforce?
People want human interactions. As much as people want to say that, you know, AI and automation is the way, people that come through the airport, they don't want to continue to serve themselves. You know, they want to sit down and relax and not have to think about everything and allow somebody to take care of them.
As a server, I don't want to be relegated to a glorified food runner at the end of the day where, you know, the customer is doing...
You know, I always thought strikes were funny. SpongeBob, there was an episode of SpongeBob where he went on strike. Well, kinda. He didn't know what it meant to be on strike. We're gonna hold a picket line, and he gets a picket fence. Anyway, like, they turned it into a joke on SpongeBob, and I never really thought it was like a big deal. I thought it was kind of just like, you know, somebody being like, hey, you didn't pay me enough, I'm not gonna work today, I'm gonna hold up a sign and tell everybody you're an asshole. But I'm seeing it more and more every day. More and more companies being struck against.
doing my job, and that's not part of the experience that we want when we go out to eat. We actually want to be served.
We're emotional support humans
True.
for people that come through here sometimes, but I do like that I get to have a lot of interactions with a lot of really cool people.
I mean, part of the best part of my day is getting to talk with the guests, get to know them, see why they're traveling, where they're going to, joking around. Like, that's what people come into a full service experience for. If they didn't want that, they would just go and grab a sandwich and go sit by the gate. So I feel like they're taking that away in the name of profit.
Yo, what's up? Los Angeles, California, 9:30 a.m. I just went inside that Dunkin' Donuts right there, and I'm not gonna lie, there was in fact a kiosk. There was no human interaction happening. You had a counter dividing two classes of people, the working class and the consumer class, with no cross-verbal traffic at all. It was solitary, somewhat awkward, probably bad for the employees because they're understimulated, I think. But for me, I honestly kind of enjoyed it. Got to walk in there, headphones in, didn't have to talk to anybody about anything going on. And now look at it. I have a perfect oat milk infused 16-ounce Dunkin' Donuts coffee in my hand. But
I actually am pro robot and pro AI. I think that they can be good if they're implemented correctly and people actually pay attention and aren't trying to squeeze every penny out of people. I think that innovation makes more money than squeezing money out of people. If you innovate, it's endless, because you get to the maximum innovation, you're going to be mining asteroids for quadrillions of dollars.
But that's not why I'm out here filming this. What if I told you there's a service that we use before we go into the field to see how the mainstream media is covering both sides of the issue?
Ground news?
That's true. And that
Is it
service
ground
is
news?
called Ground
Yep.
News. It's a dope-ass news comparison. I have a dope-ass full disclaimer to find them. So I have Ground News up on the Protector. Percent the left, union leaders about potential men who scabs crossing the picket line. And on the right, you can see the ended post consumers. So both angles contain pretty tool called Switch Edition. But down to www. Despite the strong sentiments of these protesters, many Thanksgiving travelers are not opposed to AI and enjoy automated kiosks for their convenience, among other things.
I enjoy them.
What do you think about automation and AI?
I think it's a great idea. It just seems to make it much more swift. Some of these, it just makes traveling so much easier. We thought it was pretty neat, you know.
Over here, they're protesting, saying that it's going to kind of take away jobs and stuff. What do you think about that?
Well, you can always look at it two ways, I think, because you're creating jobs on the other side, too. You know, someone's got to build the robots, someone's got to maintenance them, someone has to put the food on it somehow. It's back and forth, you know. You might lose one here, but you're going to gain another one here, I feel.
How do you...
That is true. That 100% true. I think it's actually going to create more jobs, just not in the Dunkin' Donuts itself. There might be a warehouse that builds robots, and I'd rather people be building robots than flipping burgers.
How do you feel about QR code menus?
Kind of bland to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mid, below grade.
Do you feel like automation poses an existential threat to the American working class?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Do you feel like automation poses an existential threat to the American working class?
No, not at all. If you work your ass off, if you work hard, then no, you shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Frankly, there's a lot of young kids right now who don't want to work, you know, and it's not that I want to automatically replace them, but I don't think it'll ever be like when I grew up.
I feel like nowadays, because of TikTok and stuff, all the kids want to be YouTubers and dancers and rappers. They don't want to like be engineers and scientists and doctors anymore, and definitely not soldiers.
And definitely not carpenters or plumbers or whatever, which to me right now, I wish I was starting a job. I wouldn't mind starting out at $50 an hour.
I disagree, though. I think more people are like starting a YouTube channel of them doing carpentry and stuff like that. People are doing the things, but they're doing it in an entertainment based way, which I think gives more integrity to people working, and I think holds people's skills better because it's on video usually when people are doing these types of things. And I think they should do more and more of this, even if, you know, there's no monetary incentive. A little bit of monetary incentive, like you don't want to be doing it for nothing. But that's cool, man. I see people doing this all the time. And I think that's going to be the next generation, where we're going to all just be like giving each other money while also making money off of the services for the entertainment value that we provide. It's going to be great.
I think the kids, male, female, it doesn't make any difference. I have the sense of not rotting a real job. Just, you know, I want to just kind of do what I want. And they expect $20, $30 an hour to start. They want a new house right away. They want a new car, a new boat, a new Sea-Doo, whatever it is. And it's like, give me a break, dude, you know?
Are you pro-capitalism?
Yeah, I guess yeah. It's better than everything else we got, like being shoved in our face, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I'll take capitalism.
Are you optimistic about the future of American
I like that guy.
capitalism?
About that specifically, I'm not optimistic about that if it keeps continuing, no.
How come?
Well, because it's hard to live. I mean, I live in a studio, converted from a garage, two blocks down from my landlord's McMansion.
But okay, but like, what skills do you have? Do you have skills that are good for somebody who's working at Dunkin' Donuts? Because if you don't have any other skills other than that, then you're just going to be stuck at working at Dunkin' Donuts at the airport.
Like, that's how I live. That's pretty much, give or take, how I've been living for like 5 years. I mean, I've been getting a taste of the real world for like years. So like, I don't know, like why do these people have to, why do these people deserve anything better than what I have, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
What are your passions outside of working here?
I mean, I do art, I guess, yeah.
What kind of art?
I got something in store for you. Everybody deserves fire, actually. Anything else is given to us as a test.
I draw, I guess, yeah.
That's cool. Do you ever think about, like, you know, after this going into illustration or something like that?
It's either given to us as a test or a reward. And usually if you're born with it, it's a test.
No, that's fucking insane, because like even in our current society we have as much, you know, like I'm not gonna have the opportunity, no.
Well, shit, you never know.
No.
Is there a possibility of promotion in the Dunkin' Donuts corporate apparatus?
Well, I don't know why I'd want to do that. Then I would lose union protections.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 50.
Doesn't want to get promoted because would lose union protections. There you go. You're holding yourself back right there. So you're going to stay in the same position forever because of the benefits they give you for staying in that position. Did you think about the benefits you'd get by finding a different job or allowing yourself to be promoted? Absolutely insane. I don't like Dunkin' Donuts, but like people who go on strike for these kinds of things, crazy to me, for like especially minimum wage jobs. I could understand if it was a factory replacing their workers, like people be mad.